I really do believe that we have not had a single owner collection of the level of quality, condition, charm, subject matter like this in my time, which is 52 years. It's just an extraordinary collection of great old master paintings. And what's so amazing about the unbelievably beautiful collection formed by Jordan and Tom Saunders is all the stories connected with these pictures, and there's so many good ones. In 1999, we decided to do a still life sale, and we got a beautiful big painting by Balthasar van der Ast, the early 17th century Dutch painter. And so I did a letter with a photo of the Van der Ast on the top to all my clients saying, we are looking for paintings for our auction of still lives in January of 2000. And I got a call from actually a client I knew, but who said, I have a painting, but he said he wanted to sell privately. Fine. So I called Jordan and Tom, and we decided to go to Rome on Thanksgiving of 1999. We were in the Sotheby's office where the Spanish Steps are, and it was 3 floors up. This owner, who was probably in his 70s at the time, walked up the 3 flights of steps with this garbage bag, gets to our office, and takes this painting out of the garbage bag. It is one of the most spectacular Dutch still lifes I've ever seen. And we were all like gobsmacked, you can imagine. We looked at it, we discussed price, and then Tom Saunders spent 3 days walking around Rome. And on the last dinner, he said, okay, I'm buying it. If you look at it closely, there's just so much unbelievable beauty in the picture. The little bugs and the drops of water on the tulips and on the unbelievably beautiful blue iris. And the condition is so extraordinary. You just don't see things like this anymore. And it came out of a garbage bag. In a year, I probably see 1,000 paintings. Probably more. In a decade, 10,000 paintings. And that doesn't include ones I see photos of or the internet. I'm talking about actual paintings. I would say of the paintings we see here at Sotheby's and put in a sale, probably 40% are dirty. 40% have grime on them. 40% need to be cleaned when they're purchased. Some of those hundreds of paintings that I see that are dirty are bad. I mean, you can have a bad picture that's dirty, that's worth $4,000 to $6,000, and you can have a masterpiece that's dirty, that's worth $6 to $8 million. With Picasso, people know what they've got, it's signed, it's clear. But with old masters, a lot of things aren't really thought about. Is it worth pursuing? That's a job I need to do. And with the Post, there was no question in my mind. We were looking at something beyond. The France Post was one of the earlier purchases. I'd heard about it on the market, but they were having trouble selling it. I asked to see it. It was sitting in a barn for so many years, and it was just completely untouched. It was beyond dirty. It was so black, you could hardly see it. But I had a strong feeling from my knowledge and from my experience that it was going to be a winner. So I convinced Tom and Jordan to come look at it, and they bought it in 1998. We had sent it to Nancy Creek, who was a restorer in New York at that time, and she opened a little square, and the black became bright blue of the sky. It's one of the most amazing France Posts you'll ever see. It's a big panel. It has 18th century provenance from France. It has all these wonderful animals in it, anteaters and crocodiles. France Post had been to Brazil in the 1630s with Prince Maurits of Nassau, and then he came home to Holland, and he painted a group of pictures of Brazil, and this is one of his greatest ones. I went to the Rijksmuseum. I found a frame that made sense for Post, and I found an artisan in Holland to copy that frame. It's got all these animals on the frame, like little snakes and caterpillars, and it's incredible. Mike Hornstein had consigned a group of property with us in 1998. He called me and said, look, George, I want to sell a few pictures privately, and I wonder if you have anyone that you would like to bring up here and see if they're interested in buying some things. So I said, okay. And I had Tom and Jordan, so we went up to Montreal. He had a lot of paintings, and they gave all their paintings to Montreal. But this was an opportunity before any of that happened, where we could just walk around and select the ones that they liked. If you think about the Hornstein purchase, it's one of the most extraordinary private sales, I think, that happened towards the end of the 20th century. You have the Halses, which are probably portraits of Halse's children, and they are just in perfect state. You have that amazing portrait of Julia Peel by Lawrence, which is an English picture like you never ever see on the market. You have that gorgeous little Garrett Dow of the scholar sitting in front of an easel. You have that beautiful Fraise de Bois by Adrian Courta, who was a rare painter who worked in the first decade of the 18th century. I had been there, of course, to Mike's many times, and the Melendez wasn't there. I called him at the office. I said, Mike, where's the Melendez? And he had this heavy Polish, not for sale. And I said, Tom, it's not for sale. And he goes, no Melendez, no deal. So Mike had his man pull it out from under the bed where it was hiding, and it was in a little box, and he took it out, and there was the beautiful cauliflower painting, which is really one of the greatest Melendez in the world. We often sell collections. We sold Hester Diamond's collection. We sold Mark Fish's collection. We sold Jimmy Younger's collection. We sold a lot of collections over the last 10 years. I have never had the level of quality over and over and over in the pictures that Jordan and Tom bought in a sale before. They were just the most wonderful clients to work with. And all I can think of is how fortunate I was to have had that opportunity in the first place.